Hey everybody who is curious about kombucha. As promised, I'm going to take you through the process that we go through to make kombucha at home. It's really very simple, and I'm going to keep it kind of to the basics, and I'm not claiming that this is everything there is to know about brewing kombucha on your own. So please enjoy all the other information and research and goodies out there you can find online about things you can add to it and different ways you can flavor it. I'm just going to keep it kind of simple for people that are getting started or curious how this happens. So you don't need a lot of supplies. I reuse old kombucha bottles to brew and put the fresh kombucha in, and this is where we keep the kombucha when it's brewing. We have 3 going at a time. Today we're going to harvest this guy and show you how we bottle it, and then we are going to get it started again. So this is going to be really exciting because you get to see both parts of it. This one's been sitting in this jar for about 2 weeks. Depending on how sweet you want your kombucha, depends how long you will let it ferment. If you want it sweeter, you let it ferment less time. But if you don't want as much sweetness to it, you let it go longer. And the reason that that happens is because the sugar that we use an organic sugar in the fermentation process, is what's going to feed your SCOBY. The SCOBY is the guy on top. Looks kind of like a mushroom, right? And the sugars that you put into the tea when you brew your tea get eaten up by this SCOBY. So the longer that SCOBY is eating that sugar, the less sugar content your final product is going to have. So when you are ready to harvest what you have going on, you're just going to do a slow pour. You can kind of see the bubbles, and you can tell that it's got some effervescence to it. And then you're going to, I like to use a funnel because I make a mess in the kitchen. Megan will tell you, and everybody else knows, I do make a mess. And for those of you watching from our Healthy Living Solutions 101 Facebook group, you can definitely post questions in the comment section if you have them as they come up when you watch this video. So it's as simple as this. And as soon as you pour this kombucha, it is ready to enjoy. Now, what you can do is, if you're not really sure how sweet you like it, you can just pour the littlest bit into here and you can try it. So you can say, not sweet, or it's, too sweet, or not the way I want it. So this is perfect for me. Just a touch of sweetness and a little bit of tang. All right, so we're gonna keep going. You wanna keep about 1/2 cup of your kombucha in with your SCOBY, because that's going to start off your next batch. We may have to get a few more jars because we have quite a bit to fill. You can leave these jars, these individual jars, out of the refrigerator if you would like them to become more effervescent. It's also the stage that you would add things like fruit and stuff if you want to flavor it, and then you would also leave it out of the refrigerator. I'm just going to set that there and get a couple more jars. This is where we keep the jars. As you can see, we have quite the collection because we go through a lot of it. And let's see how much more we can do. Now, when it comes to brewing and what you use to brew it, we use an organic black tea. Some people use white tea. You can use bags, or you can use a loose leaf tea. But you don't really want to get too crazy with like chai teas and things like that, because the oils in the tea can mess up your SCOBY. So you want to keep it simple, especially in the beginning when you're first getting started with doing your own kombucha. All right, and there we have it. Brewed, delicious, and ready to drink. There's quite a few nutritional benefits for kombucha. It has been used for thousands of years. People really know about it from the digestive health, and if you've ever bought one of these kombuchas before, it's a plethora of information on why kombucha is good for you and what it does for your system. When it comes to how to find a SCOBY, every time we brew a new batch, the SCOBY will double in size. And so we can actually pull that apart and gift a SCOBY to somebody. You can find starter kits online. So there's a few ways that you can get going with the kombucha. If you don't know somebody who has one to share with you, you can figure that out online. Now, so we have brewing our next batch of tea. As I make a mess, told you. All right, so this is just the black tea that's been brewed for about 10 minutes, and we use 15 cups of good water. I have a Kangen machine at home, so I use the Kangen clean water. You can also use distilled water. You just want to make sure it's a really clean water. You don't want to use regular tap water. The chlorine and the different stuff in there can really mess with your SCOBY. So you want to make sure you have good clean water. I use 15 cups of water and about 5 to 10 bags if you're using the bag tea, and let it steep for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then the real trick is you want to let it cool. So you add your cup of sugar and then you let it get to room temperature, because you don't want to hurt your SCOBY with hot water, with hot tea. So this is just the brewed tea with the added sugar. And we're going to just simply add it back to our SCOBY. And then we start the process over again. And I'm going to leave this one sit for about a week to 10 days and give it a taste to see if I like it. And then we will do the same bottling process that I showed you already. All right, let's see. Here we go. I didn't split the SCOBY this time, but if you're going to split your SCOBY, you want to make sure that you use vinegar, just a white vinegar, to sanitize. That's the best thing that you can use to sanitize your bottles, your jar if you're starting at the beginning, your hands if you're actually handling the SCOBY, all of that stuff. The vinegar is ideal for sanitization. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, so for the top, you want to make sure it stays covered, but you want to make sure it can breathe. They say not to use cheesecloth, but I don't always listen to rules, so I do have cheesecloth on this one, but I make sure it's really thick. I think they say not to use it because it can fray and you don't want these pieces in. And also if you're just using it really thin, there's a lot of holes, but I have a very thick piece that I'm using. So you just cover and band it. And then you can see on the other ones, I use a different kind of material. It's this, I forget the name of it, but it's this much thicker where it doesn't have the holes in it. So you can also use that type of a material. And let's see what else. You guys know how to start it. You get your SCOBY. All you really need is clean water, a good tea, and some organic sugar. I'm gonna post on our Healthy Living Solutions 101 page with this video link a little really cool picture of instructions on how to do it, and like little tips and tricks and things like that. But that's the basic way that you get started. It's really simple and it's a great way to save money because kombucha is expensive. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna post this really, really soon so you can enjoy it and hopefully learn something from it. And I also have, if you follow me over here, for those of you who are gluten-free out there, I have a new recipe that I tried today. It is rising right now, but this is a gluten-free bread. So if it turns out amazing, I will post that link for you so you can try that recipe at home. Have a great day.